ما انسى نقول تاني السلام عليكم عشان اللي يتفرج على الفيديو يبقى يرد السلام. يوم جديد إن شاء الله يكون يعني as fruitful as you expected to be يعني إن شاء الله. النهارده يوم مليء بالأحداث. طبعا النهارده زي ما انتم عارفين تاني سيشن من listen before you speak مع مسز جيهان. مش عارفين انتوا حاجة عن مسز جيهان، وانا مش هتكلم مش هقول. ماشي
خلاص يا مستر خليها
انا ساكت
مبالغة.
انا ساكت اهو. انا اتكلمت، انا قلت حاجة. طيب طبعا المرة اللي فاتت انتوا يعني استمتعنا جدا. يلا مين بسرعة كده اسرع واحد يقول لي اسم ايه اللي انتوا رسمتوه ده؟ اللي انتوا رسمتوه الوحش اسمه ايه؟ يلا يمين يكتبوا بسرعة. مفيش حد كتب لحد دلوقتي. يا نهار ابيض، دي تالتة رابع دي ولا ايه؟ فين الناس بتوع تالتة اول؟ اهو امنية شاطرة. امنية واسماء وانتصار. برافو برافو برافو، صح كده صح. وطبعا استمتعنا جدا بالصور. جميل جميل جميل، حلو، برافو ما شاء الله. ناس فاكرة اهو. تمام. وعرفنا ازاي نقدر ان احنا نعمل اكتر من تاسك ونخلي الليسننج سيشن دي. مين اللي كسب؟ نعيمة هتشوف دلوقتي. انا ما رضيتش اعلن، احنا قلنا يوم الجمعة اللي فاتت. نعيمة شوف يا نعيمة مين كسب مسابقة البيلي بو. طيب انا عايز اقول لكم على حاجة بسيطة بيفور جيهان ستارتس يعني. امبارح انت كنت مع دكتورة هبة، وكانت طبعا سيشن الحمد لله ممتازة، اكثر ما ممتازة كمان. بس انا كان عندي فرح فكنت مش موجود. ف مش عارف مين هيعمل الحاجة. كان موشو ابني يعني اللي هو في طالع اولى اعدادي. انا بس بوريكم يعني ان الطلبه او الولاد ما شاء الله عليهم اشطر مننا احنا شخصيا. انا فوريته كل حاجه، قلت له بص هتعمل هبه كو هوست هنا، وهتسجل وهتعمل. وقال لي ماشي، ونزلت ونسيت خالص ان هي هتدخلكم رومز. ولو دخلت انتوا الرومز هو هيفضل قاعد، او هو البتاع هيبقى على المين سيشن. طبعا لما رجعت تاني هنا قال لي على فكره انا دخلت الرومز وبقيت اطلع من الروم واخش روم تانية واسجل والحاجات دي كلها. الله يبارك فيكم. فيعني لو سمحتوا ما تخلوش نظرتكم للولاد تكون ضيقه شويه، او تقولوا لا اصل هم مش هيعرفوا، لا اصل مش عارف ايه. لا بالعكس، انت لما تعوز حاجه انت قول لهم وهم هيتصرفوا لك فيها، بالذات في التكنولوجي يعني. لان هم 24 ساعه دي ماسكين الموبايل والدنيا معاهم ماشيه تمام. اسيبكم بقى مع المتالقه دائما مسز جيهان. يلا مسز جيهان، انجوي. نشوفكم على خير دايما يا رب.
Thank you Mr. حسين.
كده نعيمة ما شاء الله عليها جابت الفايز معانا في المسابقة. تقريبا دفع فلوس. مسز ولاء بسيوني جايبة أكبر عدد لايكس. تقريبا كانت بتدي على اللايك 20 جنيه تقريبا وزازة زيت. أنا تقريبا يعني أنا تقريبا شفتها بتعمل كده. فمبروك يا ولاء، ودايما كده من الفايزين. ماشي. طبعا الجايزة هي إن طالما ولاء هي اللي طلعت يبقى جايزة إن هي تدينا 300 جنيه. فولاء ابعتي لي الجايزة الله يكرمك. ماشي، انجوي يا جماعة.
Congratulations ولاء. طيب okay, let's start. Last time on the first session we took listen before we speak. We took some idioms like open your ears before you open your mouth, and we said why. Okay, we started with the receptive and productive skills. You can remind me quickly. Yes, thank you. Thanks for your participation. And really thank you for all of those who participate in the first task. They put really amazing ideas, mashallah. Okay, let's hear. I'm reading some of the comments about the receptive and productive skills. What are the differences between both? This is like a warm-up. We took that last time, do you remember? Is there a difference between the productive and the receptive skills? Yes, reading and listening are receptive, but writing and speaking are productive. Yes. Okay, so why do we say that this is receptive and this is productive? Yes, Ms. Rawat, reading skills are receptive skills are reading and listening, in and out. Yes. Yes, Ms. Asma, what do we mean by in and out? Work earlier. Yes, Mr. Islam, receptive skills, work earlier. What do we mean by that too? We listen before we speak. Yes, in means listening, and it allows to receive information. Yes, Mrs. Rao, thank you so much. We said that these are the receptive skills because in that stage, the listeners are not asked to produce the language. Out means the speaking. Yes, Miss Asma. Read before write. Yes, Mr. Islam. So as we said, the receptive skills are these listening and reading, because in that stage, the learners don't need to produce the language to do these. They are just receivers. You produce new ideas when you write or speak. Yes, Ms. Intisar, thank you. But these skills like these, the receptives, sometimes they are passive skills, as we said before. The listener didn't do anything in that state. They're just sitting and receive the information, receptive. That's why it's receptive. And by that, they can be contrasted with the productive, which is the active skills. In that one, they are asked to produce the skill, even by speaking or writing. Okay, so let's move to the stages. We just say them quickly. Last time, we have here 5 stages: receiving, understanding, remembering, evaluating, and the last one, the feedback. Okay, let's start with the first one. What do we mean by receiving in the first stage? Take information, yes. Getting the information, receive sounds with the ear, listen to the information. Thank you, Ms. Nancy, Mr. Islam, Ms. Intisar. Yes. Listening to the sound, very good. Amazing, mashallah. So in the first stage, which is receiving, this is the first stage of the listening process. And I see some of you here said that it involves the hearing and seeing. In the beginning, we said that there's a difference between listening and hearing. But the first stage, which is receiving, in that one, we involve both hearing and seeing. You use your ears, use eyes to gather all of the information. Your ears take in vocal tones and words. Your eyes translate or read the nonverbal signals, like the facial expressions, the gestures. Yes, very good. Distinguish the different sounds. Very good. So when we receive the message, we receive the verbal, and nonverbal messages of the speaker or that the speaker sends. Of course, the speaker sometimes say words, and also he acts with his body language and his facial expression. And we as listeners, we translate or receive all of these. So that is what we mean by verbal and nonverbal. So hearing and seeing, this is the first one. And also we receive, the listener receive the verbal and the nonverbal. Yes, listen to this out. Yes, thank you. So when we receive a message, also include focusing on the attention and looking for feedback, avoid distraction, and maintain your role as a listener. We are here as listeners, so we need to listen carefully, get out all of the distractions. So this is the first stage. Second one is understanding, and this is number 2. What is meaning of verbal and nonverbal? Yes, that's as we said here. When we listen to the speaker, we like your ears and your eyes are working together. You are reading all of the signals. These are nonverbal. The speaker didn't say that, but you can understand by his facial expression, by his gestures, by his eye movement. So it's not only words, it's verbal and nonverbal. Hope that okay. So number 2, understanding. We're just not receiving. You're welcome, most welcome, Miss Nancy. Decoding the message, yes, very good. Thank you, Mr. Islam. So understanding or interpreting, once you have received the message, you have to use your own experience to understand or interpret what you just heard. So an effective listener, if you remember the characteristics of effective learners, receive, yes, these effective listeners, they try to understand or truly understand what they are trying to say, the speaker say. So understanding is the stage when you understand what the speaker say or talk about, like decoding the message, translating. So if you see here, you can say that interpret, you have decoding, you have your relate. What do we mean by relate here? When we understand the message, to familiar. Yes, Miss Nancy, amazing. To familiar what? Connect. Yes, Miss Rawat, that's amazing. Connect. Connect what with what? Relate what with what? Link to previous knowledge. Yes, Mr. Islam, thank you. Relate to our knowledge with the current activities. Yes, very good. So when we said relate here, we mean that the listener, when he's making or trying to understand the message, he is trying to relate the new information to what they already know, and try to see what the speaker message from his point of view, not my point of view. What he listened and what he already knows. Yes, Ms. Umniya. Relay what he heard with the previous knowledge. Yes, very good. And this is very important. We are going to use this point later. So please pay attention for that. Okay, number 3, remembering. Or the stage number 3 is remembering. What do we mean by that? Recall the information. Yes. Feedback. Feedback, we are going to take this stage later in the final one. Remember the information we acquire. Very good. That's amazing, Mr. Awad, mashallah. Remember what he knew from the past. Try to recall what we listen. Yes, very good. That is this point. What we have after hearing, use it when I need. Exactly. Yes, very good. So we have here the third stage, which is remembering what we already heard in the topic or from the speaker. Use the new knowledge to process responses. Yes, very good. So what do you mean the best way to remember? If I'm going to speak, to listen to a topic, what is the best way to remember? Awareness. Use information that we have received. Yes. Pictures, take notes. Thanks, Ms. Ansar, that's a good one. Creating images. Creating images, yes. Okay, so by this stage, I mean to remember all of the information or most of them, at least. So the best way to remember is by taking notes, by tape the recording, by using images. I can just draw some images while I'm listening. Yes, flashback, taking notes. So all of these are ways to best remember what is mentioned by the speaker. Okay, what are some ways that can improve the message memory? How can I memorize all of the memories or all of the information, most of the information which is important? Highlighters. Okay, what else? Mind maps, yes, that's a good one. Brief notes, visualizing, underlining what we are listening. Brief notes, searching information, or connecting things together. Yes, good examples and good ideas, mashallah. So here, when I'm telling or when I'm speaking about the remembering, there are some ways to be good listeners or to be effective listeners in order to activate our memory, to memorize or remember most of the information told in the topic. So when we try to remember a message, it's not exactly what we hear. So the memory, our memory, reconstruct the message that you hear or you read. So in order to identify or remember most of the information here, we need to, number one, identify the general idea. When you are listening to the topic, you can just, yes, it's speaking about something, a general idea about the topic. Number two, summarizing the message. Just take notes or write them in points. Repeating the names and the key concepts. We can also ask a question that can improve the message memory. So this is number three stage. Number one, receiving. Number two, who can remind me what is number two? What is stage number two? Understanding. Yes, yes, great. Number three, remembering. Number four, evaluating. Yes, that's a great, mashallah, Ms. Umne. Number four, evaluating. And by this one, I mean, after we understand or interpret the message, we must evaluate what we hear. We need to connect this message to our ideas or to our feeling about the subject or about the topic in order to decide if you agree with that or disagree. You need to know more information or that's enough. You need to repeat the tape or the topic more and more or not. So evaluating, which is like judge the message some way, and sometimes you evaluate the speaker's intent. So in this one, or in evaluating, we try to resist the evaluation itself. We need to assume that the speaker is a person of a goodwill, to distinguish the facts from the inference. Yes, the judgment should be on the topic itself, not on the personality of the speaker, or not from your point of view. Identify. Okay, could you please write here for everyone advantages and disadvantages? Yes, that's great. Different between the true and false. Yes, that's what exactly I was saying here, to distinguish the facts with from the inference, what is good, what was not good. Okay, and finally, we have that one, which is the feedback. And in that stage, we as listeners should do what? What I agree or disagree? Yes, Ms. Dalia. So in that stage, which is the feedback here, we need to respond almost on the messages that require some types of responses. So we can be verbal or nonverbal. We can just link between what we listen to what in our mind. Yes, Ms. Asma, that's great. Try to react to the speaker, yes, and give some opinions. In that point, we need to give some responses. Yes, okay, so here in that stage, we need to contact, yes, Ms. Nancy, in these responses, is the information, these responses are the information we send back to the speaker. I now receive, understand, decode the message, remember most of the information he said, and now it's my turn to give a feedback, to respond back, to send back some information to the speaker. So this one, or this point, in this stage, the speaker here, or it lets the speaker know how we feel and think about their message. Agree or disagree with the speaker and give opinion, yes. So to respond and be supportive, express support, we need in that stage to be honest and to state our thoughts and our feelings in order to give a good feedback. Ask to clarification if needed, yes, of course. Okay, so we have here 5 stages of the listening process, which is number 1. Which one is number 1? Receive, 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 yes. Number 2, understand, understand, yes, great. Number 3, remembering, yes. Number 4, evaluating, and finally, the feedback. Yes, thanks a lot, mashallah. Okay, you're good listeners, by the way. That's great. Thank you. Okay, now I'm speaking about the most famous 4 types of listening. I'm having here informational listening, empathetic listening, critical listening, and appreciative listening. Do you know any one of them? What do I mean by each one of them? Okay, I'm gonna give you here a link in the chat box it will move us to another one. I need you to write down your ideas there. Did you get the link? Which one of these? Did you get the link? Okay, could you please go to that one? Can you see my screen? Yes, I think so. We have here a plus sign. If you click on it, you will be able to write down notes. What are the types of listening that you are familiar with? And give me some examples of it. I think I have here 6 with me in Padlet. Can you see this plus sign? Informational, yes, okay. You're familiar with that one. Give me examples, like what? Informational listening, like what? Informational is to give new data, yes. Listening quizzes, informational like decision. Okay, it will not be all informational, just be patient. Like the news, yes, amazing, Ms. Badriya. Most of you are familiar with the informational one. What about the others? The news, the headline, critical concerning to critical thinking, when we listen to a story and try to give opinions. Yes, that's amazing. Analyze what you listen to, okay. Informational, like teaching science, of course. Okay, critical is giving opinions. Okay, any other ideas? Listening gives us data and news headline, but critical listening, like opinions or listen to stories, as I listen to information about an object and they ask me to fill the gaps as IELTS exams. Yes, exactly. Okay. Critical is to make a judgment. It's a review on movies, for example. Yes, that's a good one. To give others your opinion in certain topic or books. Yes. Okay, what about that one? What about empathetic? Do you know that one? To informational, like news, conferences, some science websites, listening to a friend, wow, complain about a bus. Okay, you have to choose one that you trust. Critical, like listen to a movie or a story. Okay, so let's go back here. I'm gonna show you a video containing all of these 4 types of listening. When we come back, I need you to give me these 4 types and an example for each one. And tell me if that the same in your mind or did you change it, okay? Are you following? Okay, so what are we going to do now? We are going to watch a video, yes or no? Yes, 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 okay. Are you going to tell me the 4 types of listening? No, okay. You are going to give me examples on each type. Yes, that's great. Can you hear the sounds? No, okay, just a minute. What about now?
Listening, but more specifically, we are going to be addressing the 4 different types of listening.
Okay.
So first, we are going to discuss appreciative listening. Second, we are going to discuss empathic listening. Third, we are going to discuss critical listening. And then fourth, we are going to discuss comprehensive listening. So let's go ahead and jump into our first type of listening, which is appreciative listening. So appreciative listening is listening for pleasure or enjoyment. So some examples of this would be like listening to music or listening to a podcast, listening to your favorite singer, your favorite rapper, your favorite artist, listening to a podcast that you would regularly listen to on a daily basis. Like for myself in particular, I like to listen to like murder and investigation kind of documentaries, 48 hours on OWN. Like sometimes I'll even turn on the TV and just listen while I'm washing dishes. And I really enjoy just listening to those podcasts. It gives me joy. So you might be listening to something because you enjoy it. So that is what appreciative listening is. So now that we've talked about what is appreciative listening and gave an example, let's go ahead and jump into our second type of listening, which is empathic listening. So empathic listening is listening for emotional support. So empathic sounds like empathy, and that's kind of what it's working with. It's working with empathy. You're there for emotional support. So you're not necessarily listening to respond back to a speaker's message. So let's say you are going through a very difficult hardship in your life and you reach out to a friend, and instead of them just jumping to, oh, well, you should do this or you should try to do this, like trying to resolve your problem, instead they're listening actively to you, they're shaking their head, they're asking you questions, and you just feel like they're listening for emotional support. Maybe they are in agreement with what you're saying, or they're just demonstrating to you either non-verbally, like shaking their head, asking questions, verbally or non-verbally, they're demonstrating to you, hey, I'm listening to you, I'm here for you emotionally. And some of you might be empathetic individuals where you like listening to your friends, you're there for them as much as you possibly could be. And so maybe it's a combination though. Maybe it's a combination of appreciative listening and empathic listening. Maybe you enjoy being there emotionally for other people. So as you can see, even here, there's already a combination taking place. It's not just one or the other. You could appreciatively listen while you empathically listen, but there's a difference between the two, right? Empathic listening, listening for emotional support. Appreciative listening, listening for pleasure or enjoyment, which you can do a combo of the two. Now, moving on, now that we've talked about appreciative listening as well as empathic listening, let's get into critical listening. So critical listening is listening to evaluate a speaker's message. Try to think about when you would need to evaluate a speaker's message. So some of you might be thinking, okay, maybe a political debate or maybe a persuasive speech as we do in this class, right? So you're not just going to take in information and just take it as it is. You're going to be listening to evaluate what the speaker is saying. You're not just going to like, oh, okay, this is the information that's out there in the world. Okay, let me just absorb it and that's it. No, you're really going through, you're being critical, and that's what critical listening is, right? You're evaluating what the presenter is saying. And we do this when we are listening to specifically our persuasive speeches, because you may be in agreement with them, you may be in disagreement with them, you may be in agreement with them, but disagree with something that they say. So that is what critical listening is. You are listening to evaluate a speaker's message. And again, we can see a combination. Maybe some of you really do like listening to political debates. maybe a podcast, right? And so we can see a combination taking place where maybe you're appreciative listening while also critically listening. And so now that we talked about appreciative listening, empathic listening, as well as critical listening, let's last discuss comprehensive listening. So I'm hoping that you all, at this very moment, are comprehensively listening to me. So comprehensive listening is listening to understand a speaker's message. Okay, so you're listening to understand what I'm saying, hopefully. You might be critical of what I'm saying, like, was that really a good example? Does that really dim it, right? So you're not just absorbing the information, but maybe some of you are like, oh, you're teaching us what the four are. These are what the four are. These are the definitions of the four. I'm going to absorb that information so that I could do well on the quizzes, right? So those are the four different types of listening. So first we talked about what is appreciative listening, right? Appreciative listening, listening for pleasure or enjoyment. Second, we discussed empathic listening, empathic empathy. So empathic would be listening for emotional support. Third, we talked about critical listening. And so critical listening was listening to evaluate a speaker's message. And then fourth, we discussed comprehensive listening, which is hopefully what we're doing right now, which is listening to understand a speaker's message. So maybe listening to any type of informative speech, okay, where you're trying to learn and absorb some sort of knowledge. So now that we've discussed the four different types, I hope that you have a better understanding now of the different types of listening that can take place. Remember, it can be a combination of even all four. So for every presentation, I really want you to think about what you are doing. Why are you listening to this person's presentation? Are you doing it for emotional support? Are you doing it because you really enjoy watching other people's presentations, which I hope you do? Or maybe you're listening to be critical or just understand the speaker's message. And so I will see you all in the next video. Please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out.
Okay, good. Back. So I want now to give me here in the chat box what are the four types of listening, or give me just examples for each one. Are they the same as you already know? Okay, now I hope, okay, is it clear for you now, Ms. Maisa? The four types? Comprehensive. Okay, what do we mean by comprehensive? We took it here in the presentation in a different title. Yes. Like podcast or music to understand, yes. Like the informational, yes, Miss Wala. Like listening to music or movies, listening to pleasure or for pleasure and enjoyment. Okay, listening to something interesting as a song. Empathetic for emotional support. Okay, appreciative, like listen to enjoy. Yes, Miss Hiba, the information, which is the comprehensive, yes. Which one is to judge, Miss Asma? Critical, like the political debates, yes. Okay, appreciative, like listening to music, yes, Miss Hiba. Pathetic listening is as listening to a friend who complains something. Okay, appreciative, like listening to the radio or something entertaining. Critical is to evaluate. Yes, that's great, mashallah. So we have here the four types of listening. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, we said that. Okay, so let's start with the first one. We said here the informational or the comprehensive listening as listening to the quiz. In that one, we are focusing on the speaker. We are trying to understand the message, listening habits, or block out the noise. In that one, we listen to understand the speaker's message. So it involves like, for example, if we are listening to directions, if we are listening to explanations, or even to the news, We are listening for information. So when we take notes in the class, when we take a phone message, for example. So all of these are listening for information or comprehensive listening. The second type is listening to evaluate, which is a critical listening. And in that one, it means that examining an informative or persuasive message. And you need in that one or this type of listening to make a decision about your own experience or your own findings. And this involves separating the fact from the opinions, like the advertisement, like the political debates, and so on. Critical is to evaluate and give opinions. Yes. Okay. The third one is the empathetic listening, which is here to listen to another person's feeling. When you listen in that stage or in that type, it is just listening without trying to solve problems. It just requires patience, like the good friends, as most of you said. When you listen to your friend just to support him. So this kind of listening is just listening for emotional support. It is so as we see there in the video, it comes from the word empathy, which is the kind of what is working with. It's working with empathy. So supporting your friend, just listening to support him. And finally, here we are speaking about appreciative listening, and this what we or most of us doing in our free time when we want to relax, when we want to just doing in our free time for pleasure. So appreciative listening here is like using our active imagination, like when we listen to the music to have fun, yes. Or when we listen to a comedian, of course, yes, of course. So here we discussed 4 types of listening. Of course, as a teacher, we can mix all of them in our topics. So let's go to how to teach listening. When we teach listening, yes, like songs and comedy films. Yes, Miss Mai said, this is like the appreciative one. That's great. So moving to how to teach listening. Me as a teacher, I'm not now speaking about how to improve myself or improve my listening skills. I'm speaking how to teach the listening to the student. How do you do that inside your classes? Just give me some hints. Did you teach lesson? Do you teach a lesson in the classes? Yes, 3 steps. Pre-listening. Yes, of course. Determine your goal first and then build the background. Wow, that's a good one, Miss Umniya. Videos and ask him about the content. I ask students to use their fingers to follow listening the story before listening activities, during listening, after listening. Yes. Select a listening topic that match their level. Yes, this is a good one, Mr. Islam, but now we are speaking about general listening. What if you already have a topic in your curriculum? Post listening, like 3 steps, yes. Pre-listening, during listening, and the last one, which is the production. Yes, mashallah. So all of us now know what are the stages of the teaching listening. How do we teach listening? Of course, we are not play the topic and just ask a question and that's it. We have some stages. So in this part, we are going to present the 3 stages, telling a story before. Okay, that's a good one. Pretty good, Miss Amal. That is a good one. Okay, so in that part of the session, we are going to deal with the 3 stages of the good listening activity or a good listening topic. When we present some basic suggestions for each stage. Okay, of course, mashallah, most of you know these 3 steps, which is we are speaking about pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening. In that session, we are speaking mostly about the pre-listening or the steps of the pre-listening. In that stage, we help the student to prepare for what they are going to hear, what they are going to listen. In this stage, we give them a chance to success in any given task. I introduce them for the task. And in that stage, we have two parts. This pre-stage, it is the first one, but it has 2 parts. The first one, which activating their schemata. What do we mean by that? Do you know what is the meaning of activating schemata? No, a part of the mind. Okay, that's a good one. I think the mind, okay. We are going to know later now. Their previous knowledge. Yes, Ms. Heba, thank you. Okay, so the first stage, as we said in the pre-listening motivation, okay. In the pre-listening stage, the first one is activating their schemata in order to help student predict the content of a listening passage. We are going to know now what is the meaning of activating schemata. And number 2, involve that, giving the student a reason for their listening. So in that one, activating schemata means like activating their prior knowledge to know what they already know about the topic. So activating schemata, which is I need to know what the students already know about the topic. Number 2, this act, which is the pre-stage or the pre-listening activities, it is like an introduction of the topic of the listening activity. So we need to think about the topic of the text we are going to teach before we go to the class. What do you already know about it? I need to know the student, what they already know about the topic. Which words come to mind when you hear, for example, or when you listen to the title, to elicit all of the information from the student? Which word would you want to look up? If there are some words that I know as a teacher, they are not familiar, I need to give them a hint of them. So also, we have like motivating student by making the topic relevant and interesting. And this one, if I'm speaking about a general listening, not one related to the topic. If it's related to the topic, I try to introduce them in an entertaining way, in a way that match their need and match their interest. Okay, also I need to introduce the key vocabulary and the key structures that the student need in order to understand the text or the topic. And by that one, we need not to teach all of the important vocabulary in the message. Don't pre-teach all of the vocabulary of the passage or of the topic. We need to give them a space in order to guess the meaning of the hard words. I can't just give them the words which are like very important to understand. If they don't understand them, or if they get them wrong, like they are going to misunderstand the whole topic. But I need to give them the space to guess the other meaning from the context. Yes, like the core vocabulary. I just have to teach them some of the important words that are very important in understanding. Without them, they are going to misunderstand all of the topic. Okay, so in that one, we have, the pre-task here, it can be something they are going to, we can set some of the context of something they are going to listen to. I need to motivate the student. These tasks help the teachers to find out what the student already know about the topic, which is activating the schemata, and prepare the student for the vocabulary, the language structure in the text, if they are not familiar with. Help to arouse the anxiety or the interest of the student, which comes after listening to or from listening to the topic. I need to provide a clear context and also offer the opportunity for the class discussion in the beginning of the pre-listening activity. Okay, we have here some ideas for pre-listening activities. Could you please just write down in the chat box, what are the listening activity or pre-listening activities? I'm now speaking just about the pre-listening activities that you can use inside the classroom. Description or of picture, yes. Check the student's background, okay. Like how can you check the student's background? Ask questions, guessing words. Yes, Miss May, it's amazing. Pictures. Using some models or phones, okay. Eliciting what they know about the topic. Visual images, using cards, photos, giving question, yes, Miss Salma. Context or personalized. Picture and word matching game, yes, Miss Ansar, that is a very good one. Pictures and word, yes, okay. So in that stage, we are speaking about me as a teacher. I need to know what the students know about the topic. I need to ask a question like, what is the situation? How many people are speaking there? What different accent do you hear? What is the topic? And before the class starts, I need, as a teacher, to make sure that all of the equipment is working properly, like the CDs, the video, and all of that. And start the second step or the first step, which is the activity itself. What kind of activities? I think here we reach to the fun part. Here are some of the activities that we can use as a pre-listening activities. We can adapt all of these for different classes or for different levels. It's not only for lower grades or higher grades. So number one, I'm speaking about visual. What theme is it? Wearing the uniform of the narrator if they will listen to a story. Yes, Miss Asma, that is a great one. Okay, the first one here, which is what theme is it? I think most of you say it or tell it in the chat box when we say pictures, showing them pictures and starting to ask them questions like, for example, who, like where, like what is happening. So if I give you that picture here, what can you see and who are they, or who are you going to read about or listen about, and what is happening? Could you please write in the chat box? It is a volcano, so this is what is happening. Okay, who and where? Volcano, okay. It is erupting. Okay, this is what is happening. Maybe in Japan, yes, okay. Maybe on an island, yes, Mr. Islam. It's an island, okay. Who I'm speaking to, who you are going to listen about? A geologist, maybe, yes. People who live there, yes, Miss Maisa, exactly. Yes, very good. The residents of the island or of the city. It's including the hero, maybe announcer, islander, new presenters. Okay, so here from that picture, I can know or activate the students' schemata or their prior knowledge. Here, for example, it is speaking about a volcano. What is happening? It is a volcano. And who I am going to listen about? Maybe the people who lives in that city below that mountain. They will face a big disaster. What are we going to do with them? And where? We are speaking, of course, about the city. Even they are not familiar with any name of a country, or they cannot know which place is that. Simply, that the people or the city below that mountain. So this is the first activity that we can do, showing them a picture, and then ask some questions, which is, of course, related to the topic they are going to listen to. This will help them to, and you as a teacher, to elicit all of the information they already know. And they will have a great idea about what are they going to listen to. Okay, for example, here, what can we listen, or what can you see in the picture? Who, where, what is happening? What does the picture show? Good news, yes. How did you know, Miss? Wait. How did you know, Miss Nancy, that these are good news? Happy news. Happy news. A reporter, the man reading a newspaper, he is happy. Facial expressions, yes. So by this, you understand what do we mean by verbal and non-verbal. He didn't say anything, but you can understand from just his facial expression. A man in the street reading good news. The man is reading the paper happily. Read his first article. He is happy. Man happy with the news. From his smiling, he is smiling. A smiling person reads the news. Yes. Okay. Why do people read the newspaper? Why do they read the newspaper? And do you read the newspaper? No. Mashallah, honest, Mr. Islam. No, I don't. No. To know the news. To know what is happening around, to follow what happened. Okay, no. But do you believe that everything you read in a newspaper is true? Do you believe all what mentioned or what you read in the newspaper? No. Not at all. Not all time. On mobile devices. Most are fake. Yes. No, of course. No credibility. Yes, Miss Marwa, exactly. I agree with you. Not all news are real. So how can we judge that these news are like trustful or not? How can I know what is happening around the world if I not trust any of these? Listen from different resources. You read the news and the opposites. Okay, so you are going to believe which one? From the repetition of the newspaper, listen to a lot of news, follow different resources. Listen to the BBC, yes. And by that, Ms. Hala, you are going to improve your listening skills as well. So no listening to news at all. So be in our balloons or bubbles. International. Well, if it is important, everyone will know. Yes, better. Yes, Ms. Dalia. I hate news. Me as well. Finally, it was so sad. Now all news are upset. Yes, I agree with that. But we have to know what is happening around the world. You as a teacher need to know what is happening in order to be aware of all of these current events. This is so important to be a teacher. For sure. Yes, Mrs. Ma. Okay, so first one, I think most of you say that, which is what is the theme? Showing a picture for the student and just elicit some information about that. Asking them questions, what do you think we are going to read about, and so on. Yes, but make me upset and sad. Yes, Miss Maisa, I know that. I agree with that, especially in the last 2 years. Inshallah, everything would be okay, we hope. Okay, number 2, or the second activity, I'm speaking about brainstorming and word webs. What do we mean by that? What do you think this activity is about? How do we do that? The relating word, yes, Miss Marwa, you are amazing, mashallah. Mind map to connect to the ideas, yes. Let them think about what, Miss Asma, as you do with us now. Yes, Miss Wala, somehow. You're welcome, Miss Marwa, you're amazing, mashallah. Word web is all the words related to that word. That is a very good one, Miss Dalia, mashallah, amazing, great one. Pre-knowledge of words about the pictures. Okay, but this one here, which is brainstorm and word webs, it's not about words. It's not about pictures. It's mostly about words. You give them a word and they think about relevant words. Yes, brainstorming is to write information about, gives them some words that is related to the topic, words, verbs, adjectives related to the topic, new vocabularies. Yes, of course. You're most welcome, Ms. Talia. Discuss the new vocabulary, connected nouns and verbs, difficult ones. Yes, this is the one that I was asking about now. Do we need to teach them all of the vocabulary or hard vocabulary? They try to find the meaning of the word. There is a dictionary doing this called visual. Yes, Mr. Islam, thanks for that good information. Thank you. You can just try this one in the classroom, Google Classroom for all of the attendees. Okay, yes, not all of the new words, of course. In that one, the teacher should give the student the topic of the listening and just elicit some of the words from them. For example, we are going to listen about something, volcanoes, for example. So what are the words that you can hear in that topic? And of course, in that one, I can give them just some word or some, yes, like erupt, very good. So the students are going to start writing down all of the words they are going to hear. So they can draw a visual one. They can draw a visual like a picture about all of the words. They can just draw a web for the word and all of the related words for this one. Like, yes, lava, wood, smoke, pour, ash, crater, volcano, lava, yes. Oh, very good, that's amazing. So you can do that one for the students, give them just the topic and ask them to give you some of the words they are going to listen or to hear in the topic itself. Another one for that is just to give them like a chart with the words and some of their definitions. So these are the vocabulary items which is related to the topic itself. And these words are very necessary to understand the topic. They are not all of the hard words. They are just the necessary words to understand. So you can ask the students to work in pairs, for example, to match all of the words where their definition, like the word plan, yes. Okay, what do you think happened? In that one, I can show them some related pictures. Some pictures, not only one, some pictures, and these pictures are related to the one I'm gonna to ask them which word they can remember. Yes, Ms. Nermin, of course, this is related to the previous activity. So in that one here, what do you think happened? I can give them, the students, some of the pictures and ask the student to come up with some of ideas of what happened. So they can work in small groups in that one and come up with an idea and share with the rest of this class. And this is exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. Can you see this picture here? Yes, okay. I'm gonna put you in breakout rooms and I want you to give me like a short story. What do you think you are listening to? Give me a short story about these pictures. Okay, so you are going to be in breakout rooms, for example, about 10 minutes. And you are going to just give me a short story. What is happening? What do you think is happening here or happened or will happen? So how many minutes are you going to be in the breakout rooms? 10, okay. 10, 10, okay. Are you going to describe the picture? Yes. Okay, no, Miss Maisa, exactly, yes. Okay, it's not just describing. I want you to write down what is happening. What do you think is happening? Give me like a short story. What do you think is happening here? To tell a story about, to guess what is happening. Okay, so guess what is happening, a short story. Okay. Could you please take a screenshot about this photo, for this photo? Okay, thanks, Ms. Mark. You are amazing, mashallah. No need to tell you. You know what's short story? What is the machine in picture one? Try to guess. It's just to guessing. This is the idea. It's not me or the teacher that you are going to tell them, the student. You want to elicit all of the information they already know or they guess they are going to listen to. maybe. Okay, I think most of you take the picture. Yes or no, please, if you did that. I think so, yes. Okay, let's stop sharing now and make the breakout rooms. We are about 29, so I think 5 rooms will be okay. Okay, it will be just for 10 minutes. Thank you, Ms. Rawat. Thank you so much. Okay.
Recording.
Some
Yeah, I
down on
think
the
Justin
floor.
in a museum, yeah. And the other one
What
with the
about Helen?
girl in a video game place or something like that.
Maybe. What
Place
is
for
the
video
relation
games.
between them?
Relation. Mm.
I don't think there is a relation between the two pictures.
Do you think this is the same one? The boy, the same Helen is a girl? Is the girl?
Yes, Helen is a girl and Justin is a
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, okay. We can say that
One day, Helen.
this is a different day for Helen, for Justin, that he went to museum.
I don't know.
Me too.
It's so difficult.
While he was walking on the floor, he slipped down when he found a banana. So there is no. There is,
For example, maybe she took something from Justin. Maybe she took something from Justin and ran away to use it. I think it probably would be money.
We can say that Helen and Justin went to play for a game, okay?
Okay.
And Helen snatched the money from Justin, and she went to play by herself. He was devastated and he was very angry. He tried to follow her, but he fell down. He slipped and fell down. What about this?
Is that
Okay.
guy beside Helen is the same
Say that
guy?
they're brother and sister. Could
Yeah,
could
yeah, maybe friends, maybe brother and sister.
Is it the same guy in the two
you know,
pictures?
brothers and sisters?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think that is the same person. No.
So I write Helen and her mom went to the mall and she was playing a game. She means Helen, and after she tried many times, she lost in the game, as you said.
Yeah.
The second one, Justin also went to the mall with his family or his father.
Yeah.
But his father is not here in the picture, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
And
he fell down.
He insisted to buy a game, and his father refused. So he
went down on the floor and crying.
Yeah, and he hit his leg on the floor.
Yeah.
All of them do.
So what is the verb you use? He put his down in the floor.
He hit his legs on the floor. I mean,
it is legs because I'm writing in the floor.
yeah.
And started crying.
Okay, choose one. Who will say the stories?
No.
We can see a girl, a boy and a girl.
Yes.
They are poor. They look poor. The girl tries to catch or touch anything.
Yes.
Touch something, but the shopkeeper shouts at her.
Yes, and he was angry.
He looks very angry. Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else?
No.
Maybe.
Okay.
So, do you have any idea? Another idea?
What about a title if we wanted to put a title?
Weekend, the weekend, or something like that.
Yes,
or a trip with the father.
At the weekend.
Yeah.
At the weekend, yes, yes. Okay.
So, okay. We will talk to her to tell her the story, or we will write it in the chat box. Do you know?
Anyone of you wrote it?
No, I didn't. Who said the idea of they are siblings and he wants to follow them? Intisar or Hiba?
It's on the WhatsApp group. Let's revise.
No, I can see they are
Justin went to
fighting. I
play
said
again.
the shop assistant. Yeah, I can see the shop assistant. Only shouting and he's angry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just
We
give me
have-
a second quickly because I want to wrap this up. We're losing time. Helen and Justin went to play a game. Helen snatched Justin's money to play alone. She kicked him and headed towards the lottery machine. She tried
Very
her
well.
odds, but she lost. She became angrier and angrier, so she started to hit the machine. Suddenly,
Welcome back, everyone. Let me share the screen. Okay. Hello, welcome, Ms. Dalia, welcome. Okay, so now, are you ready for short stories? Some short stories? We need a presenter from each group. Sure, okay, Ms. Dalia, Ms. Marwa, wow. Okay, rule number 1, could you please choose a presenter? Raise your hand if you wanted to present your group, please. Room 4 is ready, wow, mashallah. Miss Heba, okay, just a minute to open the mic for you. Could you please open the mic?
Yes, hello.
Hello, welcome, Miss Heba.
Okay, welcome. We choose a title at the weekend.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the story. One day there were 2 young children. They wanted to go out at the weekend. They didn't agree where to go. Helen went to a mall to play with video games with her father, but Justin decided to go to the museum.
Yes.
While Justin was there, he wanted to follow his sister and to play with her, but he slept on the floor while running, and he was so sad. That's
wow.
all.
That's great. Thank you. That's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for participation. That is a very good story. Okay, room 2. Anyone? Miss Maha, Miss Nancy, Miss Wala. Yes, Miss Wala, could you please raise your hand in order to unmute you? Thank you. Yes, you can open your microphone now.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome, Miss Wala. اتفضلي.
Number 1, there is a stupid thief goes to the museum to steal a jewelry. Then he sees himself in the camera and he tries to escape, but he falls to the ground.
Yes, that is a nice one as well. Thank you, Ms. Wala. Thanks for your participation.
Number 2, there are 2 kids who want to buy a present for their mother, but they don't have money, so the seller is happy or upset.
Yes, okay, thank you. So you made 2 different stories, not one, and they are not related, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's great. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ms. Wala. Okay, room number 3, Ms. Rawat. تفضلي. Open the microphone.
okay,
Yes.
Helen and Justin went to play a game. Helen snatched Justin's money to play alone. She kicked him and headed towards the lottery machine. So he fell on the ground. She tried her odds, but she lost. She became angrier and angrier, so she started to hit the machine. Suddenly, the shop assistant appeared and kicked her out of the shop.
Yes. Thank you. That is
and she had she knew her lesson. He taught her a lesson. The shop assistant taught her a lesson.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. That's so good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Room number 4. Room number 4. Miss Dalia, Miss Hala, Miss Nermeen, Miss Shaima was going to present that one. Room 4 made one related story and 2 stories. Which one do you want to listen? Both, if you can, no problem. Ms. Dalia, تفضلي.
Okay, so my rule was to say 2 stories, okay?
Okay,
And
تفضلي.
Mr. Min will say 1 story.
Okay.
Here in the picture number 1, Helen and her mom went to the mall and she was playing a game, and after she tried many times, she lost. So that's why she looks upset in the picture.
Yes.
And about Justin, Justin went to the mall with his father and he insisted to buy a new game or a new gift, and his father refused, so he hit his legs on the floor and started crying.
Yes.
That's the 2 stories. That are the 2
Yes.
stories.
Thank you, Ms.
You're
Dalia. That's
welcome.
so creative. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Nermoin is gonna to say 1. Ms. Nermeen, are you here? Type. Okay, room number 5. Ms. Wala, are you going to be the presenter? Just a minute. Yes, open your microphone, please. Ms. Wala. Ms. Wala, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, Mrs. Jihan.
تفضلي.
نعم.
Can you tell the story?
I tell it before.
Really? You're not
Yes.
Ms. Wala in the room number 5?
No, I'm room number 2.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you, Ms. Wala. Okay, who can tell me a story from room number 5? Mr. Sameh. You can unmute yourself. Sameh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Ms. Sameh. تفضلي.
Never mind. In the first picture, there is a boy and a girl. The girl is called Helen. They are in a shop. The girl wants to touch something, but the shopkeeper.
Unmute again, please.
Sorry, there was a call and I declined it.
No problem. Never.
Okay. Repeat again? Can I repeat again?
Just complete, continue. Okay, of course, repeat.
Okay. We can see a boy and a girl in the shop. The girl is called Helen. She's with her brother. She tries to watch things she wants to buy, but they look very poor. When she tries to catch anything, the shopkeeper shouts at her, and he looks very angry. Okay.
Yes.
In the second picture, we can see a boy. He's on the floor, as if he saw something that is worrying him. He needs help.
Yes. Okay, that's it?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, look here. This is the same picture. And do you see how many stories did we get from these 2? Sorry, what is the problem, Ms. Nermeen? You face a problem in what? Could you please write down in the chat box if you have a problem? Okay, back to this one here. I think she cannot unmute herself. Okay, just raise your hand and I can unmute you. Okay, so look here from the same pictures, and the student come up with so many stories. So this one is so good and effective in activate the student prior knowledge and also their imagination and their creativity. and most of them could be related to the topic or not, but it helps them to use their language to guess what are they going to listen to, and after that we will help them as teachers with so many activities. So one picture or two pictures, same pictures, but with so many stories. So this is very useful to be used with these students. Okay, Ms. Nermeen, just raise your hand. I can't see you. Just raise your hand in order to unmute yourself.
Okay. I'm sorry for being late, but I faced a problem.
No problem.
Okay.
Never mind. You can tell now.
For the stories, I heard very interesting stories.
Of course,
different and imaginative. I have two stories again. If you would like to listen to.
اتفضلي طبعا أكيد.
Okay, thank you very much. The first story for Justin, who is on the floor. One day there was a boy running. Suddenly he fell down, he slipped and broke his leg. He screamed and screamed for help, but no one heard. He woke up, it was a nightmare. Suddenly he woke up, it was a nightmare.
Wow.
Just it.
Yes, okay.
The second story, we have Justin and Helen went to the mall with their mother. Justin was angry because he didn't play like his sister Helen. He threw himself on the ground and cried because he was angry for not playing. That's it.
That's amazing, Ms. Nermeen. Thank you for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you.
We were happy to listen to these creative ones. These are so nice. Okay, so here, as we see, same pictures, but so many different stories. And of course, the teacher will accept all of the ideas of the student. He's going to encourage them to create more and more stories. Maybe they are related to the topic they're going to listen or not, but it helps them to use their language, and that's exactly what we need when listening, to then produce language. Okay, this one is so similar to the previous one, but I think this one is suitable for lower grades more than the higher ones. In that one, you can provide the learners with some pictures, not in order, and they have to place these pictures in order to make them a story or to make sense. So we can also ask the students to write briefly what they think it happened. So for example, here, I think they are not clear so much, but we have here 4 pictures. They can put them in the correct order and then ask the student to write a short story after, of course, arranging them. In that one here, you can find that there is a picture and some words. These words can help the students to describe the pictures and write sentences first, and then rearrange them in order to be in the correct order. Finally, to tell this story. Okay. Then teach me. What do you think we mean by teach me here? Tell me more, okay? Explain to me. To tell the story that you imagine, okay? Write a correct sentence. Yes, Nermeen, that's a good one. So in that one, or in this activity, a pre-listening one, we give the student, for example, a couple of the words or expressions, and then ask them to explain these words or these expressions to one another in pairs. So we can, after that, quickly check with the whole groups. The student make short notes of what they said, they can use these list of the words in the while listening activity, or tick the words, for example, they are going to hear in the listening passage. Tell me more about what you have to do or what you have to hear. Yes, the new vocabularies. Okay. Yes. Okay, so here in Teach Me, this is so near or with the previous one, which is the word maps. In that one, as a teacher, I'm gonna give them the words or expressions and let them or ask them to explain these expressions in pairs or in group work, and I'm gonna to check for their understanding, good, wrong, give them comments or no. So the difference here is that with the word map, I just give them the title and elicit all of the information or all of the words from them. Okay, this one I like it so much, which is the Chinese whispers. Do you know that one? Do you ever hear about this one? Chinese whisper? Or what do you think it is? What do you think it could be? No. Okay. So, okay, what do you think it could be? What is the Chinese whisper? A game, maybe? Yes, it's a game. It's an activity. And a very nice one, by the way. Like Simon says, okay, let's see something which is difficult. No, it's not difficult at all. Something like the telephone game. Yes, it's an activity. What is it about? It's a riddle, Mr. Noon. Okay, type. Let's see here. I'm gonna stop this one and share the video. Can you see the screen now? Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes, okay, that's great. Let's watch that video together.
English Whispers. This classic game works for all levels of student and works best with classes of 10 to 20 students. Step 1. Get the students to form a line or a circle. Step 2. The teacher whispers a short sentence or phrase into the student's ear. Are you ready? Step 3. Get the students to whisper the sentence to the person next to him. Step 4. This should continue round the circle or down the line until the last student. Step 5. The last student should speak the phrase out loud, then the first student should speak the initial sentence or the phrase out loud. Okay, Brian.
6 and 7 sausages.
6 and 7 sausages. What did I tell you?
7 sizzling sausages.
7 sizzling sausages. 6 and 7 sausages. Not bad, not bad. I've heard much worse. Most of the time, the initial meaning is lost, and the results can be quite funny. This game really tests listening and speaking skills and encourages teamwork. To add a competitive element, split the class into teams. The team that more closely matches the original phrase scores a point. Okay, number 3. Okay. And yours is... You got it? Okay, and go. Okay, let's see. Team A, what did I tell you then?
The screen is frozen. Okay, let's try again.
Have you got any milk?
Have you got any milk? Matthew got any milk? I think that goes to, what about Team B? Brian, what did I tell you? That is correct. Yes, well done. So not only were you the fastest, you got it right. Very good. Okay, are you ready? So let's start with you. 5. And yours is also number 5. Are you ready? And go. Right. What did I give you? Correct. And what did I give you? Very good. Oh, sister. Very good. You both got it correct. And Team B, quicker again. So it's 2 points for you and 1 point for Team A.
Okay, I hope you all get the idea. Most of you said that it's made in Egypt. Yes, I know, but they took the idea and make it as an activity for enhancing the listening. Yes, Miss Farah, we make it. Yeah, I know we did that when we were young so many times, and we played it with our friends. Just tell a word and whisper a word, and they are going to continue telling each other. And finally, we can come up with a totally different word. So, okay, let's just start the sharing the screen again. So Chinese whisper or English whisper or even Egyptian whisper, whatever, this is a very good activity that we can make with the students in 2 different ways. One of them, we can like use a sentence, which is, for example, related to the student. First of all, we can form the student in a circle and just tell the first student with that in the line, and then this student are going to whisper it to the one next to him and or next in the line until the last student in the line that shouts out the word or the expression. Or we can divide them into teams to more interactive and competitive. Okay, do you like that one? Do you like that activity? Yeah, thank you, Ms. Amira. Thanks, Ms. Nermeen. Thank you, Ms. Marwa. Thank you. Okay, so this one is very good one, or very good activity that includes both enhancing or improving the listening, allow the student to speak, and also make it as a game that could be fun inside the classroom, of course. Okay, so never mind with that name. You can take any name you want, Chinese whispers, English whispers, or even Egyptian one. Never mind. What is important is to apply that to students. My students love that one so much. Okay, let me read it first. This is a very simple one, or a very simple activity. And in that activity, we can give some of the students just the first lines of the transcript of the text or of the topic they are going to listen to. And then, or even we can give the student the whole transcript, which I not agree with that idea. I prefer to just give them the first lines, first few lines, and then working on the listening for example, specific information without the student reading the transcript, just to guess what they are going to listen about from the first two lines. You can ask them to complete the text from their mind before they listen to the topic. You can ask them to guess what they are going to listen to, and then asking them to tell if they are on the right track or not. Okay, this one too, I think this will be the last video we are going to listen to, which is mime it. What do we mean by mime it? Acting, yes, acting. Acting, use the body language or reading to act, use the body language to imitate. Yes, of course, without speaking, بدون كلام. Also, we invent that one. We are creative, but we don't apply this in the educational process. Acting, what you hear, yes. Made in Egypt too. Yes, Ms. Ella, I agree with that. Okay, let's see if it's working here. Yes, thank God it's working. I hope it's not gonna be frozen.
What is this?
Elephant.
Raise your hand.
Oh, an elephant?
It's an elephant.
It's an elephant.
Yeah, it is. Okay, miming. Simple game, great to practice vocabulary. Here we go. Activity vocabulary, like playing computer games, playing an instrument, etc. Okay? So, we'll do another one.
You're playing guitar.
Yeah, okay. You are playing guitar.
You are playing the guitar.
Now, Andrea, you are in the middle. Here you go. And you're gonna mime.
Something easy. Oh, okay. You're playing playing football. You are playing football. Yes, I am.
Excellent. Remember, you gotta raise your hand. You gotta raise your hand. Okay, another one, Heather. Go.
You're surfing. You're yes.
Yeah, you're surfing. Okay.
Hey, my turn.
Somebody's okay.
I like one.
Okay. This one.
Okay. Oh, you're playing chess?
Yes, excellent. Okay, and you can continue this way or change it.
Yes, Miss May, it's already there in our culture, which is like miming or acting the names of the movies. But here, we can also apply this one while playing on the listening topic. So for example, if there is a dialogue in the listening, we can mime part or acting part of that one. Yes, Miss Marwa, that's amazing point. I'm going to speak about it. If you notice here, he didn't accept all of the ideas or all of the answers. He just accepts the complete sentence, which is related to the topic. For example, the present continuous. He is doing or he is playing football. So, and also correcting the mistakes. Yes, very good. So we can ask the student to mime or act small parts as he did here. He made a model in the beginning and then starting to show the student some of the flashcards. Of course, each one is an action of the topic they are going to listen to. And then the students are going to mime or act what they are going to listen. This is a very good one and also interactive, and the students feel like free. They are playing while listening. They are playing while learning, and that what make, of course, learning fun for them. Okay, who is who? For example, this is an activity like when the students are going to listen to a dialogue with several characters. So, of course, in the beginning, we as teachers need to identify these characters to them, and identifying the characters is not going to be one of the tasks in the listening. So it is not a task there, which is gonna adapt this tomorrow in class. Yes, I hope. Could you please make a short video and show it with me? Very good with young learners. Yes, it is amazing with your young learners, and they feel like they are playing. They are not, and especially with boys, they like the PE session most of the times, so they can do that. So here in that one, who is who, you can give the structures, the student, an overview of who are the characters in the listening topic. For example, the dialogue with the several speakers can be difficult for them sometimes. So this can help them to have a higher rate of success if they understand in the beginning who are they going to listen to, how many characters, a general idea about them, and so on. Okay, finally here, this is a nice video too. Just a minute, it's not working here. I'm just gonna drop the I think it's not working right now. Just a minute. Is it working? No. Just stop sharing again. Okay. Can you see now? Yes, okay. giggling. Yes, Miss May, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to make slideshow, but it's not working right now. I tried. Maybe I have an internet issue.
Ready to hatch some cool pets. Click here to make your very own monster on Adaptive Ready Mind. To hatch some cool monsters teach you
Okay,
math.
we entered here a shower.
Here to make your very own monster on Adaptive Mind. Incredible! Where monsters teach you math. These pets aren't going to hatch themselves. Let's go! Incredible! Alrighty, I can't wait to see what this awesome pet is inside this egg. Let's do it. Ooh, do you I can't wait to see what awesome pet is.
It's fine. Is it stopped again? Yes, I think I have a problem in my internet now. Okay, let's try the final one on YouTube itself. Okay, it's seagulls here. What do you think is that? Okay, you got an idea. That's great. Okay, thank you. So this activity is about to give them an idea about what they are going to listen to by giving them some sounds of the of some of the verbs. For example, like fireworks or festival. Yes, that one was festival, by the way. Yes. Okay, so here, who is here is also a good activity we can make to present. I did it before in my class about animal sounds. Yes, that is a very good one. It was so fun. Okay, last but not least here, the graphic organizer, and also this one is related to like the word map, for example, but this one, I'm gonna give them like a blank organizer which summarizes some of the information in title or in headings. So student will listen and then fill in the keywords that they hear in the correct places. This one is not interactive, but it's just the student, when they read the titles or the headings or subtitles, they are going to be familiar or aware what are they going to listen to, or what are the information they are going to focus on. And here too is, what do I need to do, teacher? In that point, we as teachers, we can write some of the instructions in points for the listening in the wrong order. For example, fill in the blank. After that, we can watch the video or listen to the music. After that, write a story. Or so put all of these instructions not in the correct order, and make the student arrange them. This activity helps the student to relax, for some students to allow them or prepare them for the listening. And they are going to know exactly what is going to happen next. Okay, this is one like one of the activities I did with my student. What can you see here? Can you elicit the title of that topic? If you see that picture, what can you see, or what can you elicit from that one? What is in the first picture here? What can you see in the first picture of him? No, this one. On the left. Map, okay. Is there anything like specific on that map? Very clear, Brighton in winter. Yes, Miss Intisar, thank you. Places, the water drop, a city. Okay, in that map, I need just one word, which is which takes your interest, or like Brighton. Yes, very good. This is the name of a city, Brighton. Okay, what is in the second and the third one? Brighton in. Okay, Brighton in. And the last one? Rain, yes, very good. Brighton in the rain. So now by showing these pictures for the student, they elicit the title of the song. By the way, this one is so amazing in teaching the student the past participles. All of it is speaking about the, I think, the present perfect or past perfect, whatever, but it's mostly speaking about the present perfect or past participle, especially. So this is one of the activities I made, just to give them some pictures and elicit the title of the topic. Also, I can give some questions like, how many past participles can you think of? And allow the student to write down all of the past participles that come to their minds when just asking the question. Maybe they are familiar with the ED, maybe they are familiar with the regular past participles. So they are going to write down some or as much as a past participle they know. And this is also another one. Okay, this is the final. We come now to the final. And what do you think our task will be? Guess, what do you think the task would be? An activity, okay, about a pre-listening activity. Yes, I want you to bring a lesson from your curriculum and try to apply one of the pre-listening activity on that one, on that lesson, a lesson that you already have in your curriculum. And try to use one or more as you want from the pre-listening activities. How can apply these activities in our classroom? Okay, I think some of them we played it here. For example, giving them some of the pictures and allow just students to give you, like here, like that one, for example, you're just gonna ask the student to write down for you as many past participles as you know. No? You're telling me about the activity. Okay, about the task. If you're telling me about the task. Okay, yes, it's your task. Do you mean you want the presentation of your lesson? It will be great. I'm gonna, inshallah, next session, I'm gonna give you a part for you to participate your lesson and explaining it for us if you want. That will be great. Okay, before we finish that one, I need you to just write down here one information you love, you know as a new information, or an activity you love the most as a pre-listening activity. Yes, Miss Hala, made in Egypt. We have 2 or 3 made in Egypt activities. Miming, the miming one, the types of listening, the Chinese whisper, it's an Egyptian whisper, خلاص, okay. Yeah, yes, Miss Intisar. Most of the activities, that's pleased me, that makes me happy. That's most of the activity, you know it, that's great, you are amazing, Miss Asma, mashallah. Graphic organizers, who is who? Yes. The types of listening. Okay, that's great. Okay, thank you. Thank you for being with me in that session. I'm so happy having you in that one. Inshallah, next time I'm gonna to put you put some time for you if you want to present your presentation here and explain it for us as students. So we are going to be like your students. Thank you, Ms. Marwa. It's my honor to be with me. You are amazing, mashallah. Thanks, Ms. Wala. Thank you, Ms. Intisar. Thank you, Ms. Nancy. Thank you. I'm really happy. Thank you, Ms. Heba. Thank you, Ms. Maisa. Thanks a lot, dear. I'm waiting for all of your participation in the task on Google Classroom, and also for the presentation. If you want to present, inshallah, next time, and consider us as your student and just apply one or two of these activities. Habibti, thank you. Miss Asma, thank you. These are kind words from you. Thank you. Okay, thank you, all of you. I hope to see you, inshallah, next time. And goodbye.